Hello, hello. Can we hear me? Yo, Yodi. Yodi, Yodi, hellodi. That's actually my new catchphrase. That's how I'm starting all the videos from now on, guys. Um, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy ImTeeJax back with another video. I'm TJax, Jaxson Tristan. Whatever you want to call me. Look, let's address the elephant in the room. I got hand surgery. First of all, can we talk about how that saying is actually so accurate? Cause like, think about it. If there was like actually like an elephant, like dead ass in the room, you couldn't ignore that nigga. Like, acknowledge him. Like, he's there. Like, you have to address that. But if you see my hand, I got hand surgery. I dislocated my finger like 3 years ago, and one of my veins ballooned up, and I never knew that's what it was. And it started hurting me a few months ago. I decided to get it removed. Surgery was today. End of story. Basically, the Thunder are your NBA champions. And we're gonna talk about that. If you end up enjoying this video, leave a like and subscribe. It takes you 2 seconds and doesn't hurt you, but it helps me out a lot. The Thunder were the best team in the NBA this year, the entire year, start to finish. They made a beautiful move before the season started to get Hartenstein. They got him on a deal that people thought was a lot of money at first, but they front-loaded the deal that way that they were going to pay him the bulk of the cash before they had to put Chet Holmgren and J-Dub on new deals. Just beautiful front office work from Sam Presti and the rest of the crew. They put together a beautiful team, making the trade for SGA and the haul of assets that they got back for that as well. Along the way, they actually got Şengün and Jaden McDaniels, and they ended up trading both of them, which, imagine if they were both also on this Thunder team. That'd be fucking insane. But thank God for NBA watchers they're not, because that would just be the Warriors all over again. But yeah, I mean, even with the injuries to Chet, even with the questions surrounding this team, their age, their youth, J-Dub's consistency, and Hartenstein's injuries too, it's just, they put it all together. They were the best team, and they had the best player, SGA. It's either him or Jokic is the best player in the world right now, and he led his team to 68-win regular season, which is fucking insane. We've only had 2 teams win more than 70 games ever, and they were this close to being there, and then went crazy through the playoffs and won the championship in a 7-game series that will have a little bit of an asterisk next to it, unfortunately for them. As we know, Haliburton shit snapped. We had to see it 25 million fucking times on ESPN. They made sure we were gonna fucking see that one, didn't they? Yeah, you couldn't escape it. You couldn't avoid it. It was everywhere. He tore his Achilles, which is extremely sad. The emotion that poured out after that, I wanted to cry for him. I'm surprised I didn't, because just the biggest game of your entire life, 20,000 people all in attendance at the same time, 20,000 more people all back at your home arena watching on the Jumbotron, and then millions upon millions of people watching at home. Just to have an injury like that, and just to know that it's all over before the game even starts, when you got off to a hot start. Bro, I'm telling you, Haliburton was going to go for fucking 40 if he didn't snap his shit. But he'll be out for basically all of next season too, which really affects the Pacers. But, I mean, I just want to go ahead and say, prayers up for Haliburton, and then just shout out to the Thunder. I mean, this video could drag on. I could talk about the nuance of the series, but the Thunder were the best team. The Pacers had an incredible run. So many clutch moments. A game winner or game tire at least, by Haliburton in every single series. Multiple comebacks. Game 1 of the finals, they were about to lose, and then he hits a game winner to set the tone for the finals. And then we just had a beautiful back and forth series that saw the Thunder taking the second game after the game winner from Haliburton in the first game to tie the series up 1-1. But then the Pacers came, stormed on their court, went crazy, and got the Thunder out of there, went up 2-1. And in game 4, it was looking like the Pacers were going to go up 3-1 on the overwhelming favorite Thunder. And then SGA just had a beautiful game down the stretch, making his moves, getting to the spot, rising up from middies, getting to the paint. Everything that we know SGA can do, he showed in game 4. Game 5 was the J-Dub game, where despite his inconsistencies earlier in the series and questions about was he really this all-NBA third-team caliber player, was he really deserving of that, to be honest? Like, after how inconsistent he had been. He drops 40, he silences the hate, garnered some praise for potentially winning Finals MVP, which I thought it was going to be SGA at the end of the day. And then they go to Game 6. The Pacers, with their backs against the walls, down 3-2, just put together an absolute masterclass that saw everyone contributing, super electric moments, and Haliburton only had to play 23 minutes that game, which was beautiful because the whole thing was that his calf was strained, and the question was, would he even play that game? Not only did he play, but they blew out the Thunder, and he barely even had to play heavy minutes. And when he was out there, he didn't even really have to play that hard. So we're going into Game 7. I'm honestly thinking that he was going to get re-injured in Game 6. I thought going into Game 7, the fact that Haliburton didn't get re-injured in Game 6 and that he was playing, I was like, oh yeah, like Haliburton's going to be fine. Like, we're going to get an amazing Game 7. He started out torching them niggas, going crazy on the Thunder. He went 3 for 4 from 3 to start the first 5 minutes of the game, and then there goes his Achilles, and there goes their chances of winning. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like they didn't keep it close throughout the game, but could we be honest? Once Haliburton went down, we were all just kind of yeah, it's about over. They kept it really close though, and they went into the third quarter with a lead, if I'm not mistaken, after a Nembhard crazy step back 3. But then the third quarter came, and nobody scored from the 8.5 minute mark of the third quarter until the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter, besides TJ McConnell. And it's not like he had 25 in those minutes. He had a tough, well fought for 10 points, but it just wasn't enough. The Thunder ended up going on a 30-10 run. They ended up going up by 20, and from there, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us were hoping that the Pacers' devil magic was going to come back out. Tyrese Haliburton was the final sacrifice, but it wasn't enough to get them over the hump. So just beautiful playoffs, beautiful moments from the Pacers, and then just an incredible season from the Thunder. I think that the SGA hate is just so corny. He doesn't do anything wrong. I mean, you hear him talk in his interviews. He's respectful. You see the way he plays the game. He has an incredible bag, super athletic, super flexible, just hits crazy angles, pivot foot, middies, pops off the screens, floater game, get into the paint with the fancy moves. He has all kinds of jellies in his bag. This is the player that in the era of the three-point revolution, I would think that NBA fans would be dying to see a player like SGA. Now, I understand the drawback with the foul baiting and shit. I'm not going to sit here and ignore that he does that. But if you just look at the free throw rate, he has around below average free throw attempts per game for a player that's averaged 30 plus points in a season. When you look at players who have averaged 30 plus points in a season, SGA is nowhere near the top when it comes to free throw attempts per game. And it's not like he averaged 30.1. He averaged 32 plus points a game. And this is the guy that we're dick riding for free throws. Don't get me wrong. He does have plenty of examples of him clearly foul baiting, but it's that is a skill. That is a part of the game. So by no means am I suddenly an SGA fan or a Thunder fan, but I do like SGA, and the Thunder were the best team, and I'm not going to sit here and act like they weren't and be corny. And if Haliburton wouldn't have been injured, do I think the Pacers would have won that Game 7? Sure, but anything could have happened. They could have lost by even worse if Haliburton didn't get injured. I'm not saying that they would have, but I'm saying we literally do not know. So props to the Thunder, props to the Pacers. They gave us an absolutely beautiful final series, and we're going to move on from that. Just some quick notes. It feels really good to get this video out, because a thing that I do a lot of the times is I'll get locked into a project or an idea of something that I want to do, and then maybe I'll procrastinate, and then I won't do it, and that's fine. That's not that big of an issue. But where the issue lies is that my brain doesn't allow me to move past what I had initially set my sights on. So I wanted to cover every single round of the NBA playoffs, but I had other YouTube videos that I think are funnier, or I think are going to get more views, or I really would just enjoy making more, that I've put on the back burner up to this point to focus on, I'm just going to make an NBA video every time that a round ends. And I think that's bad. I don't like that I locked myself into doing this. So a little bit of a wait feels like it's lifted off my shoulders. I ain't gonna lie. Like, now that the playoffs is over, now that the finals are over, I'm gonna get back to other content, non-basketball content, some funny shit on the way. You know what I'm trying to say. And then I'm gonna just end this video by covering like some other quick NBA news, I guess. Durant to the Rockets. I think that was a great deal for the Rockets. I think it was a meh deal for the Suns. I think the Suns aren't gonna be any better. And I think that the Rockets are confidently the second best team in the West now. I think it goes Thunder, Rockets. Like, and I don't really know how you could argue that. Their only hole was half-court offense and fourth-quarter offense. That was like the only things that were wrong with that team. They now have a half-court player who can score on all three levels and is one of the clutchest players of all time. The greatest scorer of all time. Maybe, at least a top 3, top 5-ish scorer of all time. Not even a question. And so I really think Durant has a chance to make another run at a title. I think he's going to be the best scorer on that team by far. And I think that points per game being the thing that everyone looks at, if the Rockets do win the title this year, I think we're going to see another KD Finals MVP. And if KD wins another chip and another Finals MVP, despite if you want to put an asterisk on his Warriors shit, there's a crazy level of conversations we're going to have to start putting KD in. If he does that at this age and at this point in his career, even if the Rockets are a good team without him, again, he just kind of went to a good team already, but like, this isn't the same as the Warriors, and we can't sit here and act like that's the same shit. So good for KD, not great for the Suns. Anthony Simons to the Celtics. The Celtics get rid of Drew Holiday and Porzingis. I mean, they had to do that shit. Like, they had hella money on the books, and I don't really blame them for getting that money off the books. They're not going to win a championship this year, so they're just going to be paying hella money over the second apron for a team that's not going to compete for a championship because of Tatum's injury. So I think it was the right move for them. We'll see what Simons can do with the Celtics. We'll see what direction the Blazers are going to go in. They bought out Ayton and got Drew Holiday. So are they trying to get older or younger? I don't fucking know, but whatever. Whatever works for them, I guess. Whatever floats their boat. The draft was pretty cool. I loved seeing Jace Richardson and Danny Wolf go in the 20s, you know, Michigan State and Michigan boys. I go to Michigan. I'm not exactly that big of a Michigan State hater, even though they are rivals. I kind of look at them more as like a little brother, you know what I'm saying? So good for Jace, good for Danny Wolf. Cooper Flag went first. We all knew he was going to go first. Ace Bailey to Utah. He went 5th. We'll see how that goes. I don't blame Utah for picking Ace Bailey, even though Ace didn't want to go there. Fuck you. Like, not fuck you to Ace Bailey, but like from the perspective of the front office, like, if you're the best player on the board, I don't care if you want to be here or not. Like, we are picking you, and we can move you for some better shit later if you really don't want to be here. And then last but not least, LeBron getting his contract extension only for 1 year. So is he going to be traded this offseason to the Warriors or the Knicks or wherever? I don't think so. I think he's going to stay on the Lakers for one more season. But regardless, this might be LeBron's last season in the NBA, and we just got to come to accept that. So if you made it to the end of this video somehow, I really don't think anyone is. Hopefully this gets more views than my last video. That shit has like 15 views in like 3 weeks, which, like, I'm not gonna lie, demoralized me a little bit. I thought my channel was kind of going on the up and up, and I still think it is. I just need to be more consistent, and I need to put out videos that aren't NBA videos, because that's not the direction I want to go in with this channel, and it seems like these videos aren't performing as well as I feel like funnier videos could perform. So this is kind of just like the end of me talking about the NBA and shit. Some crazy stuff happens, like a LeBron trade or something like that at some point. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it, like, duh. Or if some shit happens, like when the season starts, like, cool, I'll talk about whatever need be when it comes. But like, don't expect this to be an NBA channel. Like, I tried this for the playoffs. I didn't like it, I didn't love it, and it kind of started to kill my enjoyment of making YouTube videos. But I'm getting this video out, even though it's like a week late. I'm done with NBA shit, back to funnier content. Once again, like and subscribe if you appreciated this video. I'm out of here.